weather on Action News Now. We go now to meteorologist Brian Ramsey in the Storm Tracker Center with your hot weather forecast.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Don't worry, it's not too hot out there this morning. It actually feels pretty comfortable, but this afternoon it will be scorching out there. So make sure the AC is ready and turned on. Even if you're not in your home in the afternoon, maybe just turn it up to 80. That way it'll be a little easier to get it down into the 70s later in the day when you get home. As we take a live look outside right now from Williams Soaring Center, we do have clear skies out there right now. The sun hasn't quite risen yet. The relative humidity, though, still pretty dry out there for this hour. We're only seeing 30s out there, which is not very good humidity recovery overnight. It should be a lot higher than this, and it is in the mountains, but still the valley very dry out there for the moment. Winds right now still light, but they could pick up once we get a little later into the morning, so keep that in mind. The red flag warning stays in place today across the valley and the foothills until probably about 6 p.m. They could expire it a little earlier or a little later than that, just depending on when those winds calm down. But I do think the red flag warning will be expired once we get to the afternoon, since I'm not expecting it to get nearly as windy today, but we are still seeing those windy conditions. And that's because we're kind of sandwiched in between a low pressure system and a high pressure system. So whenever we see this kind of setup, notice low pressure rotates counterclockwise and high pressure rotates clockwise. So those both lead to north winds in our area. North winds go down the mountains. Falling air dries. So you're seeing windy air and dry air. But as this low pressure system continues to move to the east, the chance for strong winds will diminish. I look at your wind gust futurecast, though. By around lunchtime, we're still going to see wind gusts up to maybe 20 miles per hour. But once we get into the afternoon, the winds will calm down. However, it'll still be dry and very hot out there, which is why the red flag warning is still in place. And then once we go to Tuesday, the winds look to be overall not too bad out there. A look at the current temperatures outside, sitting in the 60s, 50s out there right now in the valley, some 30s in the mountains. So it's a little cool in the mountains, but pretty mild and nice in the valley. This afternoon, though, get out the sunscreen, get out the shorts, maybe go for a swim. We're talking about some very warm weather out there, probably around 95 degrees for a high across the area. Mountain regions in the 70s, even seeing some mid to upper 80s in parts of Trinity and Siskiyou County. So very warm temperatures expected for this afternoon. We're going to continue that warming trend into tomorrow as many of you get a few degrees away from 100 degrees. Overnight lows tonight in the valley getting right around 60 degrees, so it will still be a mild night for you out there. But today's forecast is eat whatever you want day. So I'd probably avoid hot, spicy chili. That's not what you're going to want this afternoon, but if you want maybe some ice cream, that sounds like a great option. High about 95 degrees for this afternoon, staying sunny across the board. Your 7-day forecast in Chico, high of 95 for today, 97 for Wednesday. So my goodness, is it going to be hot. Once we go to Friday, we're finally back in the low 90s, which I know is still kind of hot, but at least it's not, 98 degrees. Saturday will be your coolest day at 91 before we go back up to 95 on Sunday. In Redding, a high of 95 for today, 98 for Wednesday. That's 2 degrees shy of 100, guys. So, whew, I'm sweating just thinking about it. But once we go to Friday, we're back down to 92, but we do get back up to 98 by Sunday.
Definitely a little warm for me. Thank you, Brian. And eat whatever you want day. I hadn't heard about that one before. 2 graduating classes are now